Hi peeps, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all having a great day. Today is going to be a sample Sunday video, but first I want to share a tip that several of my peeps shared with me after I did my Clarisonic Luxe Head video. I have had my Clarisonic for 11-12 years and have never been shown this or told this, not by the company, not by a rep, not by a salesperson, and I have dealt with all of them. So I thought, well, if I don't know this after using it for so many years, many of you may not know this. Okay, so here's your little Clarisonic handle. And the brushes look like this, okay? They have a little center part that doesn't actually spin. I have all of these heads. Well, here's the little surprise. This is the, I think this is the pore cleansing brush. Look, peeps, these pop out, okay? You can pop them right back into place so that they go back to normal, okay? And they just pop on like that. Okay, on the back, if you look at it closely, I'm going to show it so you can see. Okay, so if you look at it like this, you'll see some are just straight and then some have teeth. Take the one that has a tooth on it, push it in, and push your brush top out. Then you take the little part, which would make it easier to get into the tiny little grooves that you might want to get into. And I'm looking at the box here, sorry. Okay, so now you're just going to take it and you're going to push it onto your Clarisonic. Turn it on, and you now have a brush that is, easier to contour with, maybe just pinpoint cleansing. I actually think that I will probably never attach the outer part on again because I used it this morning and I thought, well, this is just even better to me. Okay, so now to take it off, I'm not left-handed, you just have to get a good grip, pull it off. To put your brush back together, you simply come through the front, get all the little grooves into the back and push it and lock it into place and you have your brush back, okay? So, and that goes with all of the brush, even the new Luxe. Just goes right in and pops into place and there you go, you have your beautiful brushes, okay? So that's the Clarisonic. Another thing I did want to share, and I think this is important, is that this handle, I did not know, was actually in a recall. The unit that it charges on is a fire hazard, and it was recalled in 2007-2008. Another peep shared this with me. So I called Clarisonic yesterday and told them the serial number, which is on the bottom of the handle. It's just some numbers. And I asked their warranty department if they could check and help me out and let me know if this was part of the recall. Sure enough, it was. So now I have a brand new Clarisonic after owning this one for 12 years. I have a brand new Clarisonic, and it is the Plus model they are sending to replace this, because this one is the original and it's not made anymore. But this one has 2 speeds, the Plus one has 3 speeds, and the body head fits on it. So check your Clarisonic if you've owned it for several years. 2007, 2008 was the recall. Okay, let's move on to what our sample Sunday is today. I'm going to sample 2 products. One is by Benefit, and it is the let me get my glasses on, peeps. The POREfessinal by Benefit, okay? And I got this as a sample. It's a Pro Balm to minimize the appearance of pores. And it says apply this silky oil-free formula to minimize the appearance of pores and fine lines for smoother than smooth skin. You can use this under makeup or over makeup, okay? And to use it over makeup, you pat on lightly over your makeup and blend. I've never used a primer over my makeup, but I don't have that big a pore issue, so it may be something you want to try. I'm going to do it for underneath right now. And again, I will put all the information and the price probably in an annotation right here. Okay, so I'm just going to open it up, and I did get this as a sample from Sephora, and this says to apply in an outward from center face and focus on your problem areas, which usually pores are here, here, and right here on the cheek, especially with menopause. Okay, and then the second product I'm going to try is another foundation, and this is the Smashbox Liquid Halo HD Foundation. Now again, bear in mind, or keep in mind, that the colors may not be perfect for me because I am using a sample. So I have to use whatever one I think is best suited for my skin, and it may not be perfect, but we're going for quality and appearance, okay? And I also wanted to say, because someone asked me if I would do one of these samples on a drugstore foundation. And I don't mean to seem harsh when I say this, But I am not going to buy products to do my sample Sundays. These are strictly products that I get as samples. If the drugstore hands out a sample of something, I'm more than happy to go ahead and try it. I do have a couple of shampoo samples that I was able to get from the drugstore, but as of right now, they do not sample makeup or foundation, and I really think that they should, but then I don't know how they would control that. So anyway, that is the only reason you will see me doing mid-range to high range, because those are the only companies that sample. And to be honest with you, when we're spending this much money on a product, sampling it ahead of time is really the way to go. I think most drugstores do returns now, but I just want you to know that's why I'm not doing drugstore, because they don't sample. And I'm not going to buy product to do this. Now, if I happen to buy something from the drugstore, it will end up in a video anyway, but it's not going to be a sample Sunday, okay? I hope you all understand that, okay? All right, so let's get started with the POREfessinal, okay? Comes in a nice little tube, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a little blob of it. It is a very pale flesh color. It's not white and it's not clear. I may need a little more than that because, you know, I got some pores to be dealt with. All right, so now I'm just going to take it and I'm going to first apply it where all my problem areas are, so that they are the concentrated areas. Sometimes a little bit on the chin, and then I'm just going to massage it and rub it outwards. It feels very nice. It has a very, very subtle smell. And I'm really focusing on the cheek and nose area, because that's where most of my pores are. I get a little bit here, and a little bit here, and then a little bit here. And now this is basically, I think you can do it all over the face. Let me see what the package says. Yeah. The diagram it's showing, this is mainly for your pores. Okay, so this will act as a primer for the pore area. I'm going to do just a little bit more because I don't feel I got enough on the forehead area. So I'm just going to take a little bit more in my hands, tap it into that area and my chin, and then work it out. So you're focusing most of your product through your T-zone, okay? Okay, so now let's take a look and see if it has filled in, refined some of my pores, okay? Yeah, it did a pretty good job. It didn't do the best I've ever seen. Maybe I need a little more. Let me get a little more, because, you know, I got the Grand Canyon in some areas. Okay, hang on. Let's do a little bit more in this area. This is where I seem to be seeing it. And just get some more there. Okay. Then I'll go up here more. Give it a little padding so it fills in. Oh, good Lord. Hang on. Okay, so I applied a little bit more before the phone rudely interrupts me. Now let's take a look and see. Yes, that's what I needed. I needed a little more of it, okay? Okay, so it really has kind of refined the pores. So the next step will be to see how the foundation applies, okay? Like I said, it has a very soft feel. Let's see if there's silicone in this product. This video is going to be too long. It is apply this silky oil-free formula to minimize the appearance of pores, fine lines, and smoother than smooth skin. Okay, and dimethicone. It has silicones in it, okay? All right, so now I am going to try the Smashbox. And this says Smashbox Liquid Halo HD Foundation, has an SPF of 15. It says get a totally even, radiant finish that feels fresh and alive. Each pigment is encapsulated in a translucent gel to create that coveted natural lit from within glow. It is oil-free and it has light to medium coverage, and it comes in 10 different shades. And I believe this is available at Ulta and Sephora. So I think I will shoot for, let's see here. I'm going to go for shade 2 in the package, and let's get this open. I'm going to apply it with my hands. Come on. Good Lord, they put these things in here like child. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try color 2. It looks like that when it comes in the sample. And color 2 is the top one. It may be too orange. Well, you know what? I'm just going to pull these off. I don't want to get it on my jeans. Yeah, shade 2 is the only one I'm going to be able to wear. It has a lot of peach tones to it, but we are going to go ahead. I'm going to put a little on the nose. Remember, we're not going for perfect color match in my samples. We are definitely going for how it applies. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of it. I'm just going to rub it in my hands. And I'm just going to pat it on my face like I normally would. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub it. Now it feels thick to the hand. It does have a gel-like feel. Not like the Marc Jacobs though. Okay. I'm going to go right up under the eyes. It says it has no oil in it. It does feel kind of oily. No smell. Beautiful in that department. No smell at all. I don't like highly fragranced foundations. Okay. In everyday life, peeps, I've been trying to avoid putting any type of foundation around the outer lines because I think the foundation just accentuates it, but you have to kind of feather it so that you're not looking like, oh look, she put her foundation on everywhere but her mouth. Okay, so then I'm just going to take the heat of my hands and I'm just going to press the foundation into my skin because that's what I always do. Okay. And I'm going to just take a look at this. Let me wipe my hands off here. And somebody asked about these. They're just the Turvy Tops that I buy from TJ Maxx. They're really nice microfiber tight knit. Okay, so, this foundation is for me, the first amount that I put on is very sheer. It does have a glow to it, but not a greasy, oily glow. It's laying nicely over the POREfessinal. And like I said, it is very light. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a second layer because it can be, it says light to medium coverage, I believe. Light to medium coverage. So this would be considered light, okay? And I do think with aging skin, not sure about the feel of, it may get too oily looking after a while throughout the day. But I'm going to go ahead and put another little amount on. And I'm going to start by just pressing it into the areas that I most need it, and that would be through this area of my face. And then I'm just going to work it out with my hands. It blends nicely. Going to pat it underneath my eyes. I've been just putting my foundation right underneath my eyes, and if I need to add concealer that day, I do, but I've been trying to avoid concealers also, which is really hard for me because I do have a lot of blueness and darkness under my eye. Okay, it feels wonderful, peeps. It really does. Like I said, absolutely no smell. I don't know how it's looking on camera. It is HD, so it may look nice. Okay, so let's take a look at a second layer. It's still a very nice coverage. If you're somebody who likes a lot of coverage for foundation, you won't like this. But if you're somebody who likes that, I'd say light to medium, it is very nice. Even with the second layering, it's still very light. So you know what? We're going to use up the whole thing. And I'm just going to do a third layering to see just how much we can build this up. Because I know some people do prefer to have a little more coverage. So I'm just going to tap that in. Tap it all around. I'm going to pick up whatever's left in the container and I'm going to just go put that in the T-zone area. Work it down, out, tap underneath the eyes. Let's go right over my eyelids. This would not be suggested if you have oily eyelids. Okay, so we're just going to press it in with the heat of our hands. I think you get, when you press them with the heat of your hands, I think you get the best blend of foundation. Even if I use my beauty blender, I use a brush, I still press my foundation in. Okay. All right, so that's using up the whole sample. Okay. It really gives a nice coverage. Now, I do have a little bit of rosacea here, and it's not covering the rosacea. So if you're somebody who has a lot of pigmentation, or you have rosacea, or you have just maybe some acne scars, things like that, this makeup is not going to be enough to cover it. Now again, I don't know if layering it even more would help. It is a light to medium coverage, so I think it holds true to that saying. It is light to medium. I would lean towards the light application. It really has a very nice finish, but again, like I said, it's my rosacea. I have some broken capillaries a little bit on this cheek. They're hereditary. My mother has them, my grandfather had them, my grandmother had them. Sometimes things in life are just hereditary. They've never gotten worse over the years. They've been with me for a very long time. So you can see those through, well, here's some foundation. Let's put some more in that area. Yeah, it's not going to cover, if you need a lot of coverage to cover things, this foundation is not going to work for you, but it is a very nice finish. Not sure that it won't get kind of oily during the day, because like I said, it does have a gel cream feel to it, and I'm not sure how this will be for normal to oily combination skin. It might wear well for dry skin, but for oily, you might get a little glow going on. So if you're somebody who's already wearing this foundation and you have different skin than me, please put it in the comments. It's very useful. And remember, this is only my opinion with my type of skin. And you have to remember, I have an older, drier skin. I don't have a lot of discoloration except for underneath my eyes. I have very mild rosacea and some broken capillaries here, and I have a couple around my nose here. Other than that, I don't have a lot of marks to cover up. I don't have any pitting. So how a foundation lays on my skin may be very different if you have all the things I just said. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Go and get yourself a sample. You know they're available. If I can get them, they are available. So, and I know somebody said they're kind of a little intimidated to go in and ask for a sample. I don't feel you should be intimidated, because the company Smashbox provides these in hopes that someone will sample it and come in and buy it. So don't allow that sales clerk that's giving you a snarky little look or anything like that to intimidate you. Simply ask her for a sample, and if she gives you a little attitude, I've had a few people give me attitudes, and I simply nicely with a smile say, well, isn't that what sampling is for? In hopes that I come back and buy. You know, I mean, there are ways to let them know, hey. Okay, so as I'm sitting here, let me just see the final look. As far as the POREfessinal, it did do a good job at filling in those pores. Okay, because my nose actually almost looks poreless. I'm a little concerned about the gel feel, though. I mean, I can feel a coating. That's the only thing in how it will wear on different skin types. Okay, like I said, if you're already using the Smashox Halo or the POREfessinal, please leave your comments below. Don't just say I hate it. I don't like comments like that. I like to know why you dislike it. I don't like it because I have large pores, oily skin, or I love it because that's useful. I hate it, it's not useful. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. We're having lots of fun here, anti-aging. Be happy, be healthy, be beautiful, and most of all, peeps, be lovable. Be lovable. I love you all. Bisous, my friends, and thank you again to all of my wonderful peeps who leave fabulous, fabulous comments below and helpful suggestions. I did not know that about the Clarisonic brush. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.